everyone. It's good to see you. It's KnitCrate time. It's the first ones of the year, and I am really excited to open up the sock crate and the KnitCrate membership for January 2019. So KnitCrate, I'm very fortunate in that KnitCrate sends me these 2 subscription boxes for free, so that way I can share it with all of you. If you'd like to sign up, you can save 20% on your first month with the code ChemKnits20. And there's a link and the code in the video description and stuff as well. So KnitCrate is, as I mentioned, a monthly yarn subscription service where you get some really pretty hand-dyed yarn and some patterns, all packaged in a very happy teal box. And yeah, I'm really excited. And oh, they have a partnership with Malabrigo, and they do a quarterly crate, and slots are going to open up for that on February 1st at noon Eastern time. So if you didn't get in on it last time, or you didn't get one of the pre-order or like waiting list slots, wait then for new slots to be announced, and it'll just be on the KnitCrate crate page. But I've heard that that quarterly kit is just amazing. But anyway, let's get to opening these boxes. I think this one feels a little heavier. I think this is probably the KnitCrate membership one. One of the first things you'll notice is that they did change the box a little bit. It's now got this glossy outer coat, which, well, you can see compared to an older one, which has been turned into a treasure box by my kids. No disrespect to KnitCrate, we love your boxes, and these are highly prized. You can see that it is less shiny than the new one. Sorry, guys. All right, let's open this up and see what is inside. So another amazing thing about KnitCrate is that it includes international shipping in the price. So, ooh, oh, this actually feels similar to the one I got in November. It's this beautiful warm brown. I'll pull it out and take a closer look in a second. Actually, is it 2 colors? Might be 2 different colors. They look a little different. Oh, what's the pattern gonna be? Okay, I'm getting distracted. So the KnitCrate membership is $24.99 a month, and it includes, that price includes the cost of shipping anywhere in the United States and anywhere in the world, which I think is pretty spectacular. You will always get 200 grams of hand-dyed yarn, plus the Inspirations magazine, which includes a knitting pattern and a crochet pattern that can use the yarn that you were sent. And so it also includes, I think, an extra sock pattern. So all the patterns from the KnitCrate membership and the sock crate are all sort of in here together. And the way that it works is if you sign up today, your credit card would be charged today, and then they'd ship out one of the kits. And if they're out of slots, they wouldn't let you sign up today anyway, but they would then ship it out. And then in February, you'd be charged on the 1st of the month, and then they'd send out the February crate. So if you really like the yarn base that you see in one of these kits today, you will get the same base, but maybe a different color. They usually have between 1 and 4 different color options that they send out. And so the color that you get is a complete surprise. There's no preferences or anything that you can put in. So if a surprise isn't really your thing, maybe it's not the best fit, but I really like that the yarn base, the yarn weight, and the colors and techniques vary each month. Okay, so this is the Vitalana Ambient Worsted in the colorway Whiskey. This is worsted weight 100% Peruvian Highland wool. And it looks like we've got, oh, were you twisted for me? Oh no, it's just the ball band wasn't quite on. Looks like it's a semi-solid tonal brown color, which is a very nice warm neutral seen against me here. And I wondered if the other one was sort of slightly different, but maybe not. I mean, the skein, yeah, I think that it was just twisted. You saw some of the darker patches. But for something like this that is semi-solid, you will, if the project is big enough, you might want to alternate skeins as you're knitting it, because I don't think that they are like identical, which is great. I mean, I love a good tonal, but that's just something to keep in mind. But I'm just the color whiskey. Okay, let's see what the inspiration is. It looks like we've got some good textured knitting this month. Snuggle up. This month's theme is about staying in and appreciating the little things in life. We hope you'll spend some quality time with yourself, pets, friends, and family, and set the year off right in a calming and soothing way. Now here's a Sleepy New Year little inspiration board. One other really big plus is that the patterns do come in this little booklet, but you can also download them directly to your Ravelry library. So if you're like me, then you can go back to them like a long time later sometimes. So it's all about layering up. And so it says Luxe Layers. And let's see. So it's a low impact workhorse yarn. Okay, so one of the patterns is called Shift, which looks like it is a chunky sort of cowl. The pattern is really, really simple, but actually it looks like that there's some nice complexity in the stitches. Let's see, there's some information about the designers, and there's usually discount codes. The crochet pattern is called Embrace, which looks like, is it a muff? Yes, it is a hand muff. Okay, so it's like, is it mittens? But no, it's a hand muff. It's using a balloon stitch, so it's a text for a textured look. That's pretty cool. And so you'll have, well, in the kit, you'll have enough yarn, which I should skein back up again. There'll be enough yarn in here to make either the knitting or the crochet pattern. Sometimes there could be enough for both, but you definitely will have enough yarn to make one or the other. Now, if you didn't get the favorite color that you wanted, or you want more of the color you did receive, in the Member Central shop, when you're a subscriber to one of the subscriptions, you get 25% off extras in that shop. And there's like information about that within this little magazine. But yeah, so I think it's fun. There's definitely risk, because you never know what colors you're going to get. And so, I mean, I think that I looked at all the colors that, and I need to share a picture of that on Instagram, that I got. I think I got my first one maybe last February. So maybe this is my 12th month. I'll have to go back and look. But the colors that I've gotten have leaned, there's a lot of neutrals, a lot of blue things in the blue family, some things in like a pink family, very little, say, yellow or orange has been like on the yarns that I've received. But each month it is completely random. Oh, fun. And so, but the nice thing about it being random is that if you watch an unboxing, you still don't know exactly which colorway you're gonna get. And so for me, I like it because it makes me think outside of my comfort zone. Because when I go and I buy yarn for myself, I'm gonna pick the teals, the blues, the purples, maybe a chocolate brown here or there, or a deep gray. Those are the colors I reach for over and over. And there's a variety in dye techniques, in colorways that are more wild or softer. And I think that it's just really, really interesting. Now, the KnitCrate membership that I just opened and the sock crate that I'm about to open are dyed by in-house dyers with KnitCrate. But they also have the artisan crates, which feature a different independent dyer each month. And those, I think, are really extra special. They are more expensive than the $24.99 or the $19.95 for the sock crate, but you're getting a different dyer each month. So there will be a little more variety in the techniques and the bases. Yes, this one is called Whiskey. So now let's open up our sock crate. Ooh. This is like a sea foam, it's like a seafoam blue-green, and it is also, it looks like it's a sort of tonal, yeah, sort of like a tonal yarn, but I'm trying to see if the color sections, they might be a little bit repeating. Yeah, actually, sometimes I like to go and see like, aha, this is how it was dyed, with like a short dark blue, long light blue, long dark, short light, shortish dark. So it looks like it's hand painted, but it's still like a very tonal colorway. And what's this colorway called? This colorway is called Robin's Promise. All right, that's pretty fair for like, I think that the blue, in my opinion, it has a little more green in it than like a robin's egg blue, but yeah, it's still like a seafoamy blue is sort of how I'd call it. And this yarn is 80% Peruvian Highland wool, 20% nylon. So this is a hand wash yarn. This one is not superwash, which, I think that there's, most of the sock yarns that have come in KnitCrate have been superwash. But I guess the main difference between KnitCrate and the KnitCrate membership is that you only get one skein of yarn, but you know it's going to be a sock yarn. So there has been a sport weight sock yarn before, but usually it's fingering weight. And most of the time, I would say at least, I'm going to guess at least 9 out of the 12 months, maybe 10 out of the 12 months, it's been included as superwash yarn. But I would have to like go back and do some analysis and check. And actually, wait, I haven't gotten 12 months of the KnitCrate yet. Yeah, this is like, it's very, very beautiful. And hey, you know, I'm a dyer. And so when I see something and I'm like, I mean, I love this color, I think it's beautiful. But if you get something and it's not quite your cup of tea, you can always over dye it. And I have a lot of tutorials that might be able to help with that. All right, so the KnitCrate comes with the yarn. Then you get a copy of the same Inspirations magazine that I was looking at already. So let me go over to the sock pattern that is included with this. And so along with the sock pattern, you get the knitting and crochet pattern that I showed earlier in the video, but ooh, look at that honeycomb-like pattern. Oh, that is beautiful. This feels like really nice, and this sock pattern actually really, really excites me. This tonal base is sort of perfect for a more complex stitch pattern. Oh, I wonder if there's only one colorway. It says Walking on Eggshells, and it only showed one yarn. But then, let's see, there's written instructions, but then there is also a chart. So if you're a chart person and there's some information about the designer is Laura Phelan Stocker, and the pattern is called Winter Light. And this is the pattern, and it's really, really cute. Yeah, so I think that I think that they're really, really fun. They're not like the most like unusual colorways or something, but I think that they're really great. Both of them actually are really, really great neutrals. I would say in terms of the variety, I've gotten everywhere from fingering weight yarn in the KnitCrate. I've gotten everywhere from fingering weight to maybe a heavy worsted. I can't remember if there was a bulky, but then like sport and DK in there, mixed in there as well. And we've seen everything from, we got a sort of, it was like a striped gradient, like there was a progression of 4 colors through the whole skein. We've seen a lot of speckled, some variegated, some tonals, some semi-solids. You know, there's been like a huge sort of variety in the things that they have offered. Personally, I would still like to see like a true gradient, or more of a true self-striping. The one big complaint I've had with some colorways is that there have been some pretty interesting like striped yarns, but then they have you cut them for the pattern that they provide, which is something that, I don't know, I think that it's weird. It's a cool yarn, make a cool pattern to take advantage of it. How long does it take me to knit a pair of socks? Oh, 35 years. No, not quite. I am much more of a, even though since kids it's not been quite as much, I'm much more of a shawl, shawlette, scarf type knitter. I love doing lace. And I'm not going to show you my feet, but I am very, very frequently barefoot. And so I'm not much of a sock wearer, but 2019, I will be making a pair of socks. I actually do like making mittens and stuff a lot. So I think a pair of socks, you know, it depends on how much time you have to like sit down and knit. I feel like I would be able to finish a pair of socks like if I was like you know, within like a week or two. Certainly I've made a lot of Christmas stockings, which are basically just a sock but on a bigger scale. So I have like an understanding for the construction techniques that go into it. I just, excuse me, haven't done a lot of socks because I don't really wear them. But, oh goodness, Keith's birthday is coming up. I sort of wanted to have a pair of socks for his birthday, but I think, let me reset my benchmark and have a goal of a pair of socks for Keith for next Christmas. It's January. I can make this happen, right? Now, Keith likes socks and likes patterned socks and stuff. So I think that I can have some fun there. And yeah. So socks definitely are not scary. I think the one thing that frightens me is, and I have made a couple pairs. I made a couple pairs of like a worsted weight sock. I've made some slippers and stuff. But I haven't made like socks out of sock yarn really. I think that, you know, is making sure like that the cuff isn't too tight and getting like a really good fit around the foot. But I have a feeling once I start, I'm going to want to keep making more and more and more. So I am, and I've got all the tools that I need. I just need the time. And there's been like things like, oh, I need to make a hat for so-and-so because it's like a need versus a want. So I'm trying to carve out this year some more time for me to tackle some of these projects that don't have like necessarily a need or a necessity or a purpose, and it's just sort of like a relax and go kind of thing. But yeah, I've been like really, really happy with the KnitCrate subscriptions. And I mean, as I said, you know, KnitCrate is providing these to me for me to unbox, but I would not be opening these up for you if I didn't think that it was like a nice yarn. I think the yarns are soft. This one, you know, I'll be honest, is not it's a soft yarn. It is not the softest of the ones that I've seen, but again, it's more of a workhorse yarn. I would say it's comparable to say like a Wool of the Andes. And so some of the other ones, I mean, it's still, personally, I would still be comfortable wearing this around my neck, near my face, but you know, so it's not like a scratchy wool. It's just, you know, a sort of sturdier one than some of the more delicate ones that we've seen in the past. I think that, so let me put it this way. If you're intimidated by socks, if you go and you make a pair, what's the worst that happens? It doesn't fit and you put a bunch of time into it. That's really the worst thing that happens. You can always unravel it and use the yarn for something else. So, you know, there's no reason not to try. I think though the thing that's been stopping me has just been the time to cast on. And so, yeah, excuse me. So I think that that's just something to consider. But, oh, I wish I could pull it up. I took a picture of a lot of the yarn that I've had from KnitCrate because I was curious about the colors and how they skewed. And this one actually feels a lot like the two colors I got in November sort of kind of go with this pretty well. But I think that the colors that again that you get are pretty random, but there have been a fair number of browns and blues and sort of teals and maybe a little bit of pink. but I think these go together really, really well. I know that there are different yarn weights, but this is sort of like a color scheme I now want to explore, like this brown and blue. And so as an independent dyer, one of my favorite things about seeing this yarn is looking at it and being like, ooh, I wonder how they dyed this. What techniques could I use to get a similar result? Or, ooh, if I had this yarn base, what would I want to do on top of it? Not that I necessarily want to change it, but it's just fun to see what's created. Yeah, the brown and blue are really nice together. Now I'm curious what other colors. So if you go on the website, I try really hard to avoid spoilers. It looks like that in addition to the brown, there's a pink, and then the blue might be the only one in the sock crate. And then it looks like in the artisan sock crate, I'm not gonna spoil it, but that looks like a really, the artisan crate. Oh, that's so pretty. So one other thing I've been really, really dying for, I would love to see, like in the KnitCrate membership, I would love to get 2 different colors of yarn. I've seen this a couple times in the artisan crate through the website, where they'll do 2 and then you kind of mix them together for a fade, or 2 and then you have some kind of color work, whether it's striping or something. But I would love to see that element brought into the crates more. And actually, I should like write down all these thoughts, but that's one of the things that when I chat, I'm gonna like chat with them next week, and one of the things that I'm gonna mention, because I think that it would be nice to challenge people a bit too, and bring like a new way for people to think a little bit outside of their comfort zone or something. Because for me, like getting the colors is one way to go outside my comfort zone, but then like mixing different colors is another way to think about it. So, wait, casting on the standard. Oh, cool. Oh, wow, that's awesome. You're gonna make a temperature blanket and dye the yarn? Yeah, I mean, I think like I've been really, really happy with this, and I think that if I wish that like I had more time to try out a lot of the patterns. I think a lot of the patterns are really, really cute. And ooh, all right, so here is the theme peek for February, and it's good vibes only. And these, ooh, I'm hoping they do something really variegated. There's a lot of multicolors in there. I would love to see something a little wild. Yeah, I don't know. I want to feel surprised, I think is what I want. Oh, awesome. That's so great that you're dyeing the yarn for it. But yeah, sorry guys for the cough. And I think the muff, you know, it's interesting. I think actually maybe a muff would be a good thing for me, because I find that a lot of times I'll end up taking a glove off because I need to use my phone for something or other. So maybe like if I had a muff and then I could just remove one hand and then stick it back in when it gets cold. Maybe that's something that I should use versus traditional mittens. As always, I would love to hear what you think about the colors that I got, and this is subscription as a whole. I know that color surprises and these kinds of mystery subscriptions aren't for everyone, and it's really okay if you decided not to continue or anything. Like, I do appreciate the honest feedback. I know that ultimately when it comes to yarn, a lot of people have a lot of different color preferences and texture preferences, and so some people might have really, really different opinions from me, but you know, I think that the yarn is nice and pretty, and I think that in my opinion, it's a really good value. So for, I guess technically the 3 patterns shipping, $24.99 for the 200 grams in the KnitCrate membership, and then $19.95 for the sock crate membership, where you're guaranteed to get a sock yarn. Do I still? No, I only ever got one of those other ones. A question, where did I get the dye pot that I have on my stove? I got it at Bed Bath & Beyond. It's I think the brand is Salt. It was an 8-quart multi-pot, and I also have a 12-quart one that I haven't opened up yet. And I got it because it had the steamer basket in it, so that way I could steam the yarn, but also use it as just a pot. And then I got the big rectangular steam pan that I use on Amazon, and I have links to that in some of my videos. But yeah, I think that it's a lot of fun. I really like the company, and yeah. Aw, I'm glad that you like my videos. Yeah, I think that I'm like, I like looking at it and trying to, I don't know, I like trying to think about, ooh, what do I have that could give a color like that? Now, I should say that it's okay to be inspired by other yarns, and I think for your personal use, it's okay to look at things to like reverse engineer. But in general, like I never set out to try to copy anyone's colorway. I might look at something and want to create a similar effect, but I always try to put my own twist and spin on everything I create versus like directly copying someone else. And so that, as I'm thinking about like, ooh, how would I do that? It's more of like, ooh, what would my version of that be? Yeah, I love this color. This is like a favorite color of mine. I think one month I did get like a very, very bright color like that. Maybe boot toppers. I wonder if they did those one month. The patterns do skew towards accessories, but I mean, I think that yardage wise, that tends to, I mean, they're not sending a sweater's worth of yarn, but sometimes, the 2 skeins is way more than you need to make the pattern and things like that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to address. If you are subscribed, you can cancel at any time. As I said, like if you sign up today, you'll be charged today, and then they'll send you out this month's crate, and which may or may not be this color, but it will be the same yarn base, and you'll get the same patterns. And then as it like stops focusing on my face. And then the next time you would be charged would be February 1st, then March 1st, etc., etc. But if you want to cancel, as long as you cancel before the 1st, you won't be charged that following month. If you're interested in one of the subscriptions that's sold out, more slots will open up on the 1st, because that's usually the way the timing of it works. Is this enough for a hat? Potentially. So it's 201 yards. I mean, I think for hats, like very frequently I can do a hat in under 100 grams of Knit Picks Wool of the Andes, which is 220 yards, and this is 201. So I would say that I think that you could probably create like a full hat out of one of these, depending on, of course, the pattern and stuff that you're using. But I think one should definitely be enough for a hat. So that would be my, sorry guys, ringing that bell. But anyway, I hope that you found this helpful. And as always, like I'm happy to reach out to KnitCrate sometime, like with any questions. I know that there were some suggestions and comments that you guys gave on the last video that I am, before I go and I talk with them, I'm gonna like, write them down. There's some things that I have a feeling are not logistically possible based on my assumptions on the model, but who knows, if you give a suggestion, you never know if they'll take it or if they'll sort of keep it in the back of their brain and maybe be able to bring that forward at some point in the future. I just know, I think that it's really fun to sort of get a surprise to open up every month. Can you mix Kool-Aid to get different colors? Absolutely. You can also add like liquid food coloring or other food colorings, or I mean even acid dyes and stuff, to the Kool-Aid as well. When I started out, at one point I was using the Kool-Aid basically as the acid source, and then I was adding additional food coloring to it to get different colors. So that's definitely something that you could do. Yeah, I hope that, yes. So the KnitCrate membership is the one kit that includes a crochet pattern. It comes with one knitting pattern and one crochet pattern that go with, you could use either one of them for the yarn on here. So today the muff was the crochet pattern. Let me show the muff again. So this muff was the crochet pattern this month. And then the knitting pattern was this cowl. Whereas in the Artisan Crate, you get two knitting patterns, one beginner and one more intermediate advanced. And then the sock crates each come with a knitting pattern. So the only one right now that is crochet is the KnitCrate membership. Sorry, that was a really awful sounding laugh. That is so funny. I have no idea what dye is used to color wooden toothpicks, but that's certainly a really good idea and a really good thought. And so I admire your creativity. I think that that's really fun. But all right, I'm going to sign off. I hope that you guys found this helpful. There's a little more information in the video description, but you should check out the KnitCrate website if you want to really learn some more. But ultimately, yeah, my affiliate links are in the video description. Again, I am an affiliate, and so if you click on the affiliate link, it means I get a commission based on the sale. But I would not be continuing to do these reviews if I did not think that this was a quality product that I enjoy. So anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and we're gonna get some snow. So I will chat with